Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious.
Army of the Dead is the brand new Netflix original film, directed, written, produced, and cinematography by Zack Snyder, and stars Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell, Omari Hardwick, Hiroyuki Sanada, and many, many more. The film's about following a zombie outbreak in Los Angeles, a group of mercenaries led by Dave Bautista take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. My name is Max Timber. Welcome guys to a brand new, also by the way, the film is 2.5 hours long and is rated R. Welcome guys to a brand new Netflix review here on Max. Hopefully we talk about the highly anticipated Army of the Dead. This is a film that I was really excited for. I do like Zack Snyder. I'm a big Dave Bautista wrestling fan, so I'm excited to see him continue to improve as an actor. And it just feels like I like zombie movies, so I was very excited for this film. Before we start with this video, please consider liking the video, guys. That's the best way to support the channel. Please hit that thumbs up button. Also, please comment down below your thoughts of this film. If you've seen the film in theaters or on Netflix, let me know. And also let me know, did you like the film, not like the film? Are you a big Zack Snyder fan? And if you've not checked this one out yet, will you check this one out this weekend on Netflix? Also, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews like these, TV show reviews, and movie rankings, and a box office exclusive show. So if you like any one of those things, please consider subscribing, ring the bell for notifications as we try to get to 100 subscribers. Let's get into my review right now. So I was, as I said, very excited for this film. I don't call myself an ultra Zack Snyder fan, but I do enjoy. I'm a bit of bits and pieces. I don't love any of his movies, but I do enjoy a lot of his films. And I was excited because I want to see Dave Bautista in a leading role in a big movie. Now, he's been in Drax, in the Guardians franchise, Spectre, Blade Runner, all various supporting performances, led in Stuber, but I did not like Stuber. It wasn't a big movie. So this is kind of his first big opportunity to be a lead actor, and I thought he was really good. Let's talk about my positives first with the film. I had a really good time watching this movie. Now, I did watch this on Netflix and know that Netflix did make a deal with Cinemark to have this in theaters, and you can see this currently in theaters as well, but I had to see this on Netflix due to my circumstances. So that's just what it is, and that's what experience I will be talking about. But I had such a good time with this movie. Now, yes, it is long. I'll get to that in my negatives, but it really is a fun zombie film that does some unique things with the genre, and the fun action horror stuff that you think is going to be in this movie is in the movie. And because Snyder is the cinematographer, and he's the writer, and he's the director, and he's the producer on this film, this is literally his movie. There's no one else writing the script. It's all him. So if you are a big Zack Snyder fan, you're going to either like to love this movie because it's a lot of stylistic directing, a lot of one-liners, a lot of slow motion, a lot of song choices that you probably won't think should be in a zombie horror film or zombie action horror film. They're all in this movie. It's a lot of Zack Snyder-isms, not as much as I thought, but they're still sprinkled in the film. It's a very stylistic film, and it feels like a Zack Snyder film, which for some people is going to be a great thing, and for others will not be a good thing. For me, I like knowing what movie I'm watching based just off the way I'm watching and the director. The fact that I know that's a Zack Snyder film is a compliment, in my opinion, to the director, and knowing that that's his movie is a really strong attribute for any director. Another huge plus, and I alluded to earlier, Dave Bautista is really good in this movie, and for me, this is his best performance. He shows a lot of depth in the movie. He has some comedy. He's obviously a badass. I've been following him my whole life since WWE, so I'm a huge wrestling guy, so I've known him my entire life, So it's cool to see him, The Rock, and now Cena all do these acting stuff. But I'm really happy for Bautista because Bautista is really trying to be a serious actor. The Rock's already got, and Cena both are charismatic trying to be action stars. And Bautista's trying to go into all these different things, comedy, horror, action. He goes into a lot of different things, and he shows a lot of range in this movie, and he's really, really good in the movie. You care about his character a lot. Something happens to him really the first 15 minutes of this movie are really good. They show a whole introduction on how this zombie thing happened, the introduction to a lot of these characters and how they've interacted with zombies in the past. And that's all just in a 15-minute. It's one of the best openings really to a Zack Snyder film ever. And there's a thing that happens with Dave Bautista's character before the events of this film, and you kind of get why he wants to do this, why he has this off-putting his very long distance relationship with his daughter Ella Purnell, who by the way is also really good in the movie. You get her motive 100%. Those two are easily the best characters, a part of this group of mercenaries in the entire film. Omari Hardwick is also in the film. He's really fun to watch on screen. He has some really fun comedic bits. Him and this guy who is the guy who tries to break out the vault. Omari Hardwick and this guy's relationship was really, really funny. The guy on my far right here, right there. These two guys had a great dynamic in the film that I really, really enjoyed. And also what I wasn't expecting is the zombies. Now, there are different types of zombies in this film. There's the stereotypical zombies who are just stupid, just trying to get after you. Other ones are just super fast. So you feel the intensity because they're just fast. But there's also, they set up like a hierarchy for the zombies. There's a main king and queen really of these zombies in their kingdom in Las Vegas. And the fact that we get kind of a motivation and a character arc for some of the zombies was something you really don't see in many zombie movies. They're only just the stereotypical zombies, and Snyder pulls a really good twist on them. And the main zombie who is going after them, he is designed really well. You feel the threat of this character throughout the entire film. And when he gets on screen and he starts going to work, it's pretty fun to watch. There's also some unexpected twists and turns that go on throughout the film that I really wasn't expecting. Some were good, some were not twists that I needed. But for the most part, I was actually pretty surprised by a lot of the film. So overall, I mean, I really did have a great time watching this film. The group of mercenaries were fun to watch on screen. There's a good mixture of practical effects and CGI kills. It's a very violent movie, which I was also very much enjoying. So let's get my negatives before we give you my score. This film is 2.5 hours and it is just too long. This film could have been easily 2 hours and it would have been better than this because it just feels too long. There's a bit, you think the movie is ending and then it cuts and there's another 10-minute sequence. And that is the ending of the film. I was not a huge fan of what they did with the last 10 minutes of the movie. It didn't really feel like a satisfying ending. There was an ending that I thought clearly was the right ending. And then they said, that's actually not the ending of the movie. This storyline is the ending of the movie. I was not a huge fan of. There was also, as I said, there's some twists and turns of the film that I was actually pleasantly surprised with characters. But there are also other ones that I just did not like, and it killed a lot of the emotion out of a scene. Where there's for example, I'm not going to spoil anything. There was a quick dynamic that Dave Bautista has with one of these characters, and there's a big twist that happens, and they talk about their background for 2 minutes, and then the twist happens, and that whole storyline's debunked. I didn't feel like they gave enough time to stuff, even though this movie is 2.5 hours. I think that's what a lot of people are going to say about this film. It's 2.5 hours, and it's a pretty straightforward. It's a zombie film that doesn't go deep, but it's still a long movie. So in a long movie, you do expect to have a lot more depth to it than this film. Now, I don't have that criticism. I have criticism of there's particular character decisions that the script makes characters either die or do, and it didn't at times make a lot of sense why the characters were making these decisions. There's also characters who are put in the movie because you've seen those characters in plenty of heist movies before, so you know exactly what direction they are heading into. And I didn't feel really as emotionally wrapped into the story, really only with Dave Bautista. The father-daughter relationship was easily the best part of the entire crew. Other than that, a lot of them do the stereotypical heist group things. And I just wish they went deeper with especially a couple of the characters in this group. But overall, guys, I really had a fun time with Army of the Dead. I think this is just on par for me as the Snyder Cut. Two films that I really liked. They're in my top 7 of the year. near my top 5 is this film, because I really enjoyed this film. I got to turn my brain off. Now, yes, it's too long. There are story problems at times. It doesn't go as deep for its warrants, its length. But overall, really good performances, a really stylized film, and it's a fun action zombie film that I was definitely down for. So I'm going to give Army of the Dead a 78%. That for me is a 4 out of 5 stars. Again, I really enjoyed this film. One of the better zombie films in years. Maybe even back to the first Zombieland. This is a really fun zombie film. So that's my review of Army of the Dead. Do you agree with me or disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section down below. Will you check those out this weekend? Like, share, subscribe. Don't worry, this Monday, my box office show, episode 2, will be out. I'll break down all of the big box office statistics. I'll see you guys on Monday.